And welcome along to the Cheers TV. Sorry, wee technical issue there. It's myself and Gordy. How's things, mate?
Good, yeah, really excited about today's game. It's a long time since I've said that about an SPL match.
To be fair, massive game. Both teams are quite similar form. I think Rangers are maybe in a wee bit better form than Hearts, but Hearts have been the surprise team in the league so far.
Oh yeah, I just want to start the show by calling that out and saying, irrespective of what happens today, it's been a bit of a breath of fresh air. A Scottish club outside the old firm really going for it and spending some money, getting a new manager, Derek McInnes, and really in great form. Like they're up at the top of the league by merit.
Do you think they're the favourites?
Well, for today's game or for the league?
I think today's game will determine who's the favourites after that.
The bookmakers certainly have them as favourites, and I can't remember a time when that's ever been the case, especially in the last 2 years, where Rangers have went anywhere outside the old firm and not been favourites for the games. So
I think that's warranted. To be fair, they're six ahead, isn't it?
9 ahead.
9 ahead is if we win the day, a game in hand. If we win the game in hand and we win the day, we're right back in it. So massive game for us. Let's go into the team. The team news broke 10-15 minutes ago. Right, Gordy, let's go for it. Butland, Aarons, Tavernier, Sterling, Fernandez, McGoma, Barron, Raskin, Diamonde, Moore, and Miovski. Let's talk through that team.
I mean, looking at it, as I said off there just before we went on, I think that's the strongest team we can put out. And if I was the manager, that's the team I'd pick for the day. So I don't have any complaints over it.
Out with Cornelius, it's probably the strongest team he's got. I can see there in general.
Yeah, for me, it looks like a 5-3-2 with Aarons and McGoma on either side of the back three, which I presume would be Tavernier, Sterling, and Fernandez. Which I think with them having two up front and Draga and Shankland, I think that's the way forward, and that's a good idea.
Well, we've had clean sheets for the last couple of weeks in the Scottish League. So there's Doug's been a pest. She comes from anywhere in the last minute.
What's she doing?
She's playing. As soon as we go live, she jumps up and steals the show.
I know.
We've had clean sheets in the last couple of weeks, and if we can get a clean sheet today, it'll be massive for the club. Big talking point. Miovski's back, hopefully fully fit, but I think that's a major talking point in the game.
Yeah, it's a great bonus given the fact that, I mean, we won't go and talk about negative and strikers not scoring. Miovski has been our best striker this season. It's not been much of a competition, to be honest.
I agree with that.
Unfortunately, but he has scored a few goals, and obviously a bit disappointing for him not making the game against Hibs to keep that momentum going. But these are the games that you sign the big strikers for, and I'm confident Miovski can do some damage up top. And it's a big if, how fit is he? Will he last a full game? But, even if he can get a goal, hopefully two, and then be subbed, who knows. But I'm really happy to see Miovski up front because...
You want him to continue scoring form as well?
Yeah, on form, I think he's our best striker, if I'm being honest.
I think he's by far our best striker. So we've spoken about this a few times in the last few weeks. Mikey Moore playing just behind him in a kind of free role. Do you want to hold this? She's doing a test, man. She's wanting it more there.
Aye. Probably people watch the show more for the Lily than us as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What a Simon and Gordy doing on Lily surely do. Yeah, I think Mikey Moore, and it's good to have that, flair player in behind, creative player in behind. I think he will look to get some shots off. I think he will play with. I believe McGoma and Aarons will play on the flanks. So I think Mikey Moore will be kind of more central, and I think he'll play just off Miovski, which for me is a great idea. Hopefully link up and pop up with an assist today. But Mikey Moore, hopefully, between the gap between midfield and attack, I think sometimes we lack a player that drives forward.
Aye.
And I really hope Mikey Moore does that today.
He's a far better player under role than he was under Martin.
Him and Barron have been much improved, and it's great to see. And I think Danny Rowe hopefully sees Mikey Moore's best position as that. And I look forward to seeing what he can do today. What's your thoughts on it?
The Moore has been the most improved player since Danny Rowe became the manager of the club. I really like him as a player. I like his attitude, and I would give him the free role, basically anywhere behind Miovski, play that role. But not just that, I think that Barron and Raskin, it's vital the two of them have a really good game and they dominate the midfield, because I agree with you, the defence should look after itself. People might say it's negative. I don't think it's negative. You need to give Hearts the respect that they deserve. They've got Braga and they've got Shankland up front, who are two great attacking players, and they could cause a lot of trouble. So we need to be tight at the back and strong. I say it every week, and I'll say it again. No fanning about. which we still do it, but we've been no too bad at it recently and getting away with it. Big Fernandez was showboating last week. Don't do that. Just clear your lines. I'm looking at it. Tavernier's playing right. The problem I've got with him is if he's taking every set piece, he can't get back into position. This will need to stop because he will punish us. If we've got Tavernier out of position, they'll punish us without a doubt.
Oh yeah, I mean, just circling back to the banking for a wee second, I think sometimes in the SPL we can be a little bit predictable, a little bit pedestrian sometimes in games, and that's why we struggle to score. I think having Mikey Moore in a free role, if it turns out that's what it is, then it gives the other team something to think about, and I'm sure it'll create opportunities for us. And yeah, I mean, we've said it. You said it on the show. We all said it on the show about Tav. You're right. And we'll see. I think Barron's been taking some corners lately.
That's right.
So hopefully he'll continue. I don't mind Tavernier taking the corners if he can get back.
If he can get back, or if it's on the right hand side, then he's going to be so far to get back.
Yeah. So, but it's a difficult one because is he our best? I mean, you kind of assume he's our best set piece taker, but no one really else gets an opportunity. But
and we've got a set piece guy in, so we should be trying different ideas out.
Yeah. And again, that's something that has become a bit stale, a bit pedestrian as well, predictable as well, just Tavernier logging over. So
in terms of the defence, all in all, Aarons, I've got to give a wee bit of credit to Aarons. I think he's been a better player since the new managers came in, and he's playing on the right hand side. Playing on the left hand side was crucifying the boy. He really was struggling with it. But that's as strong, apart from Cornelius, that's as strong as the defence is going to be. I don't really miss Suter too much, if I'm being fair.
It's good to have Sterling back. That's a big thing. Having Sterling back at the back is a big thing. I think he played really well against Hibs. Set up the goal as well, which is
it's a strong
crazy.
Team, but we need to score goals, and the biggest thing for me is we need to prevent goals because Hearts will be dangerous.
Yeah, and that's where Barron and Raskin, you picked it a couple of minutes ago, mate, where them combating and energy in the midfield, it'll be their job to protect the back three, I think it will be.
Aye.
And then obviously support the attack as well. So that's going to, I think the game's probably going to be won or lost in that area. And I think that's why Rolls went with Diomande, Raskin and Barron today.
Aye, no, and I agree with the team. But the only thing I would say is when I look at the bench, and I don't want to sound too negative, I don't see too many match winners on the bench. Maybe you could argue on his game, Gassama can come on and do the business. Other than Gassama, there's not really anybody there that I would say would excite me. And it's became a squad game now. You're going to have 2 or 3 subs. I would like to think that if Gassama comes on, that they keep Moore on and we don't do a like for like there.
I mean, a lot of it will depend how the game pans out, obviously, but I don't think Mios is going to last the full 90 minutes, if I'm being honest.
I don't think so either.
It'll be interesting to see who comes on for him.
I think Shamit will come on for him.
And then hopefully we'll be 3-0 up by that point, so we're not relying on him to score. We say it every week, but what an opportunity for him. Do you know what I mean?
He might have a bit more room, maybe because if he comes on. But the big one for me is Miovski has been in good form. He's back in the team. That's a big talking point because if he wasn't playing today, Hearts would have been the favourites, I think. Now we're back in the favourites, but really tight game.
It's going to be a really, really good game. I don't want to, obviously we heard talk about Rangers, but Hearts are missing Craig Halkett, the defender today.
That's right. He got suspended against Celtic.
And he's a big miss for them. So he scored a lot of goals for headers this season as well. So him and Stuart Finlay for a great partnership at the back for Hearts, and not having Halkett is a great thing for us because, and we've talked about somebody like Alex Gogic on the show. I don't want to talk about transfers just now, but somebody like Gogic, Craig Halkett knows the Scottish game. You know, Craig Halkett has had a really good season this season. He's been a bit of a star for Hearts this season, so and he's probably their best defender as well. So that's good for us. But going forward, I mean, Hearts have been a bit. Just getting back to Hearts, they have been
up and down.
A revelation this season where they're going forward. But
I might be down to bottle, no ability, and none of the 2 teams have got an experience of winning a title.
That's it. I mean, it's going to be a strange one for the Hearts players today because, for all intents and purposes, they were going today as favourites. So you've been a good point. How do they cope with that mentally?
That's a big thing, and it might be a lot of this comes down to the first one to score. Maybe first to score will win it. It might be down to bottle after that. A big thing for me in this game would be that Aarons and Magoma are delivering them as a wing-back position, that they deliver good deliveries into the box for Miovski, because Miovski can put the ball in the net, but it needs to be good, clear deliveries, no crossing the ball and missing the first man, or no one to cross and cutting in. Get some good balls across. We need to be asking the question to Hearts.
Absolutely.
Because if Hearts asks a question to us and we lose an early goal, our arse will collapse.
Well, that's why I like the team today. And I heard Diane Rhodes' interview before he came on here, before we came on here, sorry. And I liked what he said. He was more concerned about what we do today.
Which is what it should be.
Yeah, and he was more concerned about how Hearts react to us. Because the interviewer asked him, you know, are you concerned about the Hearts team? Have you got any concerns about how they play? And Diane Rhodes basically said, well, you know, I'm interested in how Hearts react to us, which I think that we kind of missed that.
Of course, we missed a wee bit. I used the word arrogance last week when I was talking. Swagger. We've missed a wee bit of that, and we don't really have any kind of flair players in the team. Mikey Moore's the one guy that has got that. He's only a young boy. It's hard to depend on him. Another guy I'm going to mention, we haven't mentioned it, Diamande. He's hot and cold.
He's got it in his locker. Like, I mean,
but there's always a big purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Mate.
And in fact, if he was on the form, he should be on a wee bit of African nations or something.
Yeah, so his head down, because did he really want to go to that? Is his head going to be down because he wasn't selected, or is he going to take it as a challenge to improve his form? Because his form's not been great at all. But we really don't have a ready-made replacement right now for him.
And who comes in? I'm just looking at it. I mean, the only player like I can think to come in that's half decent there is, as I mentioned, is Gassama. There's not a lot. You'll probably find Danilo come on at some point in the game, or maybe Curtis.
I think Danilo might come on for Mikey Moore if he takes Mikey Moore off at any stage and play. I think it's going to be a 5-3. Well, I think it's going to be a 5-3-1-1, if that makes any sense, because you're going to have three in the midfield. Then, Mike, I believe you're going to have Raskin and Barron on either side of Diomande. Diomande will be tasked with getting out of the park a little bit.
And just then Diomande,
Moore, and then again. Yeah. So I personally, that's what it looks like to me. Well, Diomande plays in front of Barron and Raskin, and Moore gets the free role.
And Moore will be left and right. That's the way I would play it. Again, Diomande makes surprises. It's just a case of every player needs to dig deep today. We really need to be 100% focused. The other thing is, a few weeks, and there's been a lot of times that Danny Rose picked the wrong team. So when he picks it right, I don't mind admitting giving the guy credit. He's picked the right team.
It's hard to see how he could pick a better team from today.
But what I will say is, another slight criticism I've got with Rowe is last week he took off his best players, Barron and Moore. Last week he took them off. I don't know why.
Do you think he was resting them?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Well, this is what if it's arresting them or anything else, this is what it's all about. It's not about next week. It's not about any other games. Rangers need to set the marker today at Swinecastle, and I would be playing, if he's on form, I'd have Moore on the whole game, because that boy can change a game quite quickly. He's got that in his locker.
Absolutely. Even if he's not having a great game, he's still got the capability to turn and
put a challenge in as well. Turn it on, he can also put a challenge in and help the midfield, and he's so young and he's full of energy.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening before the game as well. We shouldn't be pessimistic today at all, because irrespective of our turbulence this season, we haven't lost an away game for over a year, which is an incredible start given the turmoil we've had. So we're not easy to beat away from home, and I think that we've got the team to do it today.
I know 100%. I'm just looking at one of the comments that came in there. Cameron right out of the picture. What price is that? Well, we spoke about this for weeks. I don't know the answer to that. There may be something happening in training that we don't know about, but I genuinely don't know. I quite fancied him when he came in, but I don't see any way back for him now.
I tell you right now, I'd much rather see Lyle Cameron than Diomande in the team, the way Diomande's been playing. Like, very worst case scenario, Lyle Cameron's going to give you much more energy and passion than Diomande. Diomande can shrink from a game. 100%. And I don't think Lyle Cameron would do that at all.
He's not on the bench either. I say what was worse. So he's not on the bench, Cameron, either. Or is he? No, that's Shermate. So he's not on the bench either. I think he's got an injury actually last week. I think he's an injury in training. But if I had a choice, Alexa, you get Dowell on the bench here, or Cameron. I'd have Cameron all the time. I'd give him an opportunity. But there's something must be going on there. And I don't like to say this, but I don't fancy his long-term future, if I'm being honest. Anyway, back to the game itself. Game of two halves will be, no doubt. But at Tynecastle, it's the first time Danny Rowe's been here. I hope he's been briefed on it. For the first 10-15 minutes, that the crowd will be on top of us. Hearts will be going for everything. they'll probably kick everything that moves, and who can blame them, because that'll intimidate Rangers. We've got a bit of height in the team, from what I can see. Big Fernandez is a major danger in set pieces. I'll be using him at all opportunities. Other than that, only other thing I want to talk about with the game today, it's ruining Scottish football, it's totally crippling the atmosphere, is that all over social media, Rangers supporters that go everywhere can't get tickets, and the reason they can't get them is it's only 500 away tickets. This, I don't know how we're going to come about doing it, but they need to get together, all the clubs, and it's a spectacle. It should be for fans, and the guys that go every week should have a chance. I don't know how you run a supporters bus with 2 people on it. The atmosphere will benefit Hearts. I can understand it from that point of view, but Easter Road 4 weeks ago was a ghost town out with the Rangers end. Rangers and all the other clubs are going to have to come together and start looking after the fans. Forget about the guys that watch on television and look after the bread and butter. I think it's a disgrace that there's 500 tickets available today for the Rangers support.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to Easter Road, I mean, if these clubs don't want Rangers fans there, then they're not selling their tickets but for their own fans. It's ludicrous.
It's crazy.
And it's not as if Scottish football's awash with money. So, listen, so be it.
I don't like any of the attitude between. If Tynecastle's full today, at least they've got an argument that's full. But let's be frank here. See if the Rangers get a good result today, and by the end of the season, Hearts have completely, their arses collapsed. You'll get as many tickets as you want for Tynecastle for the next time. That's the problem.
Yeah. But I mean, if we take today in isolation as a one-off game, I can understand the thinking from Hearts behind it, because they might see this as a title decider. They might see this as a big, they will see it as a big game for them towards the title. But if we win, we're right back in it.
I mean, this is an exciting day for Scottish football. Only another week, I know I feel like a moon-faced bastard then, but this would have been great for a Saturday. The game after it, Celtic Aberdeen, that'd have been a great way to showcase Scottish football Saturday afternoon. But they've got to turn them in the same day. There is a lot of excitement. The table could change so much in just the space of 4 or 5 hours. But 7 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, who would have thought we were having a conversation?
Yeah, I mean, it's credit to the new manager who's come in, and yeah, he's not got every decision right.
He's still learning, yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're in 8 games, 6 wins and 2 draws. The 2 draws were disappointing, frustrating. But if you play every 8 games and you get 6 wins and 2 draws, then that's title winning form. Well,
and that's where Russell Martin's team, remember, he's still to get his own players in. So he's also got the argument that you can only pay with the deck you've got. It's hard for him to play. We're looking at this squad and thinking, who would you play? So he's not publicly going to say it, but he'll be saying the same as us. I wish January would bloody come quicker, because then he can at least have a chance to get better players in and get rid of the dead wood, the dead rubbers. There's players there in that squad that are taking a wage that are never going to feature again. So that's the problem. But all credit to Danny. He's done a great job so far. He wasn't the first choice, remember?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, one thing is he's got a tune at him, and he's got us in a position where we think we can get a win today. 5 weeks ago, we wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, and I'll go one further. If we win our next 3 games and it's all us, Hearts, Motherwell and Celtic, who are all in the league, then I think that makes us favourites for the league. But that's a conversation. You're right. That's a conversation for another day. And we just need to make sure we do our best to get the 3 points today. On that note, Simon, can I ask you to give the viewers your prediction for today? I'm going to ask you for the goal scorers and the score line.
Just a quick one. I've got a Hearts fan there. We don't mind guys coming on if they're polite, and he's just saying, let's have a cracking game. I agree with that. Fair play, about
yeah, and just to reiterate, I think Hearts have done really well, and even despite the troubles that Celtic and Rangers have had this season, Hearts still need to go out and win the games, and they've done that.
They've proved, because everybody said their bubble's going to burst. If we beat them today, that's not a bubble busting. That's
it's a one-off game. Yeah. And they had a wee wobble in November, I think, and then they came out and went to Celtic Park and won, and then followed up with one at Falkirk. So
and they beat Celtic twice.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is there was 3 big decisions that Rangers wouldn't have got if us away about when they beat us at Ibrox, which benefited them and was part of our downfall. But then, I don't even think under Russell Martin we'd be able to win that game. To be perfectly honest, they still went on to win the game.
Yeah, and when a team's top of the league, it's there by they deserve it. So fair play, and obviously from our point of view, we're just hoping and praying for the 3 points a day. So Simon, don't wiggle out the question, my man.
I know 3-2 is what my prediction was the other day. I'm sticking by it. I think it's going to be an open game. I don't want to see Rangers Hearts taking the lead. I'd like to see Rangers commanding the game, because whoever takes the lead might determine how the game goes, and I don't know how Rangers will react to that. 3-2 to Rangers, and I fancy Shermiti getting 2 goals, and Moore getting 2 goals and Shermiti. And I would say that if I was going to see who's going to score for Hearts, probably Shankland, who we should have signed. That many times I've fed up saying it.
We're going to check what's in your drink. You're thinking Shermiti's going to score 2 goals.
I know.
For myself,
He's going to score.
I can't see anything other than a draw today. I think, being perfectly honest.
I
think
will get 1 and Moore will get 2.
I actually think I hope. I don't think we'll play for a draw. I hope we don't. But a draw wouldn't be the worst result. However, I would like obviously we hope for the win. I think it's going to be 2 each.
And to reiterate, I think it's going to be a great game.
I think it's going to be a great game.
Big one.
I think it is going to be a great game.
Months ago, we were coming into these type of games, think to ourselves, how badly damaged are we going to come out of this?
Absolutely.
We don't have that problem anymore. It's a good advert for Scottish football, and Tynecastle's a good atmosphere. It's a good ground.
It'll be a great atmosphere. Rangers fans will obviously give it their all as well. So, wherever you are watching the game, whether you're at the game or watching at home, obviously watching us as well, enjoy the game. We hope it's a great game, and as you said, it's a good advert for Scottish football.
Occasion, and hopefully we get a result for the famous Glasgow Rangers. Happy with that?
Happy with that, yeah. So I didn't know if you wanted to follow up with it.
Guys, we'll catch you later.
Yeah.